everybody, this is Bob from Buckeye Sports Center. Really excited today to take a look at the new 2021 Malibu 21 VLX. This is a really great model from Malibu because, you know, Malibu is considered a premium brand. However, this particular model, they really price aggressively. It's getting it down more into the mid-level pricing, so it's really an aggressively priced boat. It's a 21-foot boat, traditional bow, but it's loaded with all the Malibu features that you're know and love. Including the digital dash, including the surf gate, and the Power Wedge 3. So let's take a look at the 21 VLX. So in the bow of the 21 VLX, it's going to be your traditional pointy bow. However, they still make it a pretty wide up there. A couple other things to note that sometimes are forgotten. This is a lot of times when you get into a more of a promotionally priced boat, they kind of make it shallow, or they kind of make it like they try to make it smaller than really what the size is. But this is a pretty deep, pretty tall boat. High freeboard in it. The other thing that they don't cheap out on is that this has a custom Malibu trailer. A lot of times you'll get into adjustable trailers or trailers that aren't fit really well to the boat, but this one gets a custom Malibu branded trailer, which fits great, perfectly designed for this boat. So again, a couple of other things you don't normally find on something where they're trying to keep the price down. So at the heart of every Malibu is the wake forming capabilities of it, and this one's no exception. You've got the Malibu patented surf gate system, which is super easy to use, very intuitive. Patented feature from Malibu that helps create that awesome surf wave. Also, we have the Power Wedge 3, which is an adjustable plate, which kind of acts like it's adding about up to 1,500 pounds of ballast. You can also tweak the size and the height of the wave depending on what you want. If you wanted a little bit of a longer wave that's a little shorter, you can do that. If you wanted a little bit of steeper wave that was maybe not quite as long, you can adjust that all with a Power Wedge. The other cool thing is that you've got a surf pipe, so all of your exhaust kind of muffles down in the water and bubbles out after the rider, so you don't get any exhaust in the rider's face. So in the transom area of this boat, a lot of times you get basically the cushions always come all the way back to the back, but on this one they do a nice little design. Pretty simple design, but it works real well for kind of a staging area to get boot up and get ready, or if you're watching people swim off the back or do whatever, you have this kind of nice seat area, a little step area here, which is a little bit unique, as opposed to having just the sun cushion all the way through the back. So it gives you a couple different steps down to make the step and access to the platform a little easier. So as we get into the engine, obviously everybody wants to know how these boats are powered. So Malibu's designed and came up with an all-new engine. It's a 5.3 liter Malibu branded, Malibu built engine. It's got a lot of torque. It's direct injection. So typically a direct injection engine is always going to be an upgrade, or pretty substantial upgrade on the boat, but it's standard in this Malibu 21 VLX. So it gives you a lot of new technology, high efficiencies, high torques, and then that direct fuel injection really just sounds great, very smooth operating, not super loud, just a really great package for this 21-foot boat. And then in addition to that, in the transom area here, you've got 2 storage compartments. You also can get an optional, it's all plumbed and ready to go for additional ballast back there. If you want to increase your surf wave, you can always add additional ballast back in those areas or use them as storage. So again, added versatility depending on what you want to do and what's important to you in this Malibu 21 VLX. So as we move into the cockpit of the 21 VLX, first thing I kind of notice is it's very roomy for a 21-footer. A lot of times a 21-footer you're a little bit pigeonholed in the cockpit, but there's plenty of space for several people to lay out. And you still get the same quality Malibu upholstery, styled slightly different than some of the other models, but nice heavy-duty, high padded, high foam backing on the upholstery. So really excellent fit and finish on this boat. Malibu is always good about having, billet grab handles, some bling, built into the boat. Nice cockpit speakers as well. Plenty of cup holders and areas to store away your phones and different things like that. All new for 2021 is this G5 tower. This is a really cool tower setup, upgraded from the G3.5 that was on it in previous years. And this tower will actually fold down 5 inches lower. So if you do need to get it into a garage, it's 5 inches lower to get into some of those smaller garage sizes. The other cool thing is that it's got, there's no thumbnails, there's no thumb screws. It's got a quick mechanism to unlatch the tower and bring it down. It can be done by one person. It does have a catch on the end, so it's not just going to cave down. It does have a some gas assist shocks on it to help you go down. And then in addition, you know, obviously swivel board racks are included, you know, easy to maneuver in and out, so you don't have to hang over the side of the boat to put your racks back on. There's a couple of different locations where you can put those racks, you know, depending on what's comfortable for you. You can put them up higher if you want or lower. Obviously we've got 2 Wet Sounds tower speakers as part of this package. And then also a pretty nice large bimini top, covers pretty much the entire cockpit, and it does have rope storage. So if you want to store your ropes away from, you know, away from everybody, easy to get to, you know, a nice convenient rope storage. So really a nice sturdy bimini top that makes this package a really nice setup. So one of the things Malibu I think does a great job with is just little ergonomical things that just, you don't ever really notice until you start using the boat, getting in and out of the boat, different things like that. You know, the first thing that I really like, you know, this this helm area, a lot of times you'll see like other brands are going to use just like a really almost like a little pedestal base. You know, this one they mold the base in, makes the seat a lot more sturdy. You know, gives you a lot better, more of a captain's chair feel rather than just having a little pedestal down there that typically will be vibrating or you know, not as stable as this. You know, this new seat slider system, you can slide the seat, you know, back and forth pretty easily. You can spin it very easily with just this lever on the left-hand side. So again, just ergonomically friendly. You know, plenty of space for me being a taller guy. You know, the other thing, the battery switch location is right here near the driver. You know, he doesn't have to get out of the driver's seat to turn the battery on and off, rather than have to, you know, go onto a compartment or whatever and have to open up the seat for that. So that's pretty cool, well designed. The other thing I like to point out, you know, again, I'm a taller guy, 6'2". I can walk to the bow. I'm not hitting my head on the bimini top. The bimini top's plenty tall. If I walk, you know, all the way through the cockpit, I don't have to worry about my head hitting speakers or anything. And then even as I walk, you know, from the cockpit to the transom, I can get up and I don't have to hit my head's not hitting on the bimini. A lot of times the bimini top will be in the way. So again, a lot of ergonomically well-designed pieces of this boat that you don't really think about, but I think they're important. So the bow area of the 21 VLX, you know, again, being 21 foot and a traditional bow, not a wide bow, but it's still, for a traditional bow, I think pretty wide. The other thing I like is that it's deeper, so if you have smaller kids, you don't feel like they're going to be bouncing out. You know, Malibu does a great job with, again, added billet pieces, nice sturdy, you know, cockpit bow speakers, cup holders are up here. You know, just a general well design. There's padding all the way through so that you can sit in multiple different areas. But this is plenty big enough of a bow for 2 adults to sit, or, you know, potentially 3 kids. The other thing I always point out, because again, it's unique to Malibu, is that underneath this bow area, you have a 4th ballast tank. So instead of, most brands will have 3 ballast tanks standard on the boat, Malibu is going to have 4. So that gives you a little extra ballast standard, and it, you know, makes the bow rise a little bit more limited by having a little bit more ballast weight in the bow. So you're not having to, you know, run the boat nose high, maybe like some older models or some other brands of boats. It's not quite as bad with this Malibu when you're surfing, to get extra visibility. So another thing I always like to point out on these Malibus, because it is different than some of the competition, when you get into the storage compartments, you know, first off, you have this kind of center area, you know, which is a nice little cubby storage for, you know, you could actually use it as a cooler if you wanted to, or if you just wanted to put a rope or a bumper or something like that, just small in the way, you can do that. But when we get into the storage areas, I always point out that they're finished off real nicely. They're deep. You know, they don't have that rough finish that some brands have. And then all of the horizontal surfaces, you're not going to have carpet. So a lot of brands are still using carpet in their boats, but Malibu, you know, they're using a mesh material or, you know, impervious to water in their compartments. The other thing, again, kind of a Malibu feature, rather than having the cushions be loose, you've got nice hinges on these boats. So even though this is a little bit more of a value price Malibu, you don't miss out on, you know, things like the stereo system, things like the seat hinges, you know, the nice tower with the lock unlock mechanisms. You know, the digital dash is literally the same digital dash that they use. You know, the 4-tank ballast system, the surf gate, the power wedge, surf pipe, all things that you're normally going to find on all the Malibus, you're still finding it on this 21 VLX. So really what this boat is designed to do is, you know, create a, you know, good value price boat, traditional bow option, you know, to get people into the Malibu family who might normally not have been able to reach the Malibu family quite yet. So you know, this is a great value overall for this model. So the last thing we'll talk about on this 21 VLX is there's actually two different hull options on this model. This particular boat's equipped with the diamond hull. The diamond hull is a slight variance to the wake hull, and that basically makes the boat ski a little bit better. If you're more of a skier or you want to ski more, the diamond hull helps you create that ski wake a little bit better. So typically at Buckeye, how we're going to differentiate, for instance, a 21 VLX from a 21 MLX. A 21 MLX is basically the same boat. It's a little deeper, has a pickle fork in the front. So typically, if you're doing a lot of wakeboarding, a lot of times we'll recommend the MLX for a little bit more money. If you're a little bit more, recreational, maybe you're more skiing, maybe do the VLX. So that's kind of how we differentiate those two models. Thanks everybody for checking out the 21 VLX with us at Buckeye Sports Center. For more information and to view our inventory, go to buckeyesportscenter.com. Thanks for watching.